Ho ho!
Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. What many of us feared or at least suspected has happened today. Xabi Alonso is no longer the head coach of Real Madrid as of this afternoon. Honestly, I don't really know what to tell you guys. There was a meeting between club president Florentino Pérez, Xabi Alonso, and the board, where both sides mutually agreed to go their separate ways. This could technically be seen as a dismissal, but Alonso is a club legend and an important figure in Real Madrid's history. The club didn't want to project a bad image by firing him just 6 months into the project, so the official version is that Alonso and the board reached a harmonious agreement to part ways this afternoon. Alvaro Arbeloa will be the next Real Madrid coach starting today. However, sources inside the club are already leaking that Real Madrid is working on selecting an elite-level coach for next season. Arbeloa will stay in charge until the end of the season, for sure. He's also a club legend and has been part of Real Madrid's academy coaching staff at different levels, achieving significant success along the way. If everything goes well, Arbeloa will stay for more years. Obviously, Xabi Alonso wasn't the team's main problem, but he also didn't really look like the solution. Several sources mentioned back in the summer that he wasn't the president's preferred option. Personally, I don't think the defeat against Barcelona alone is enough reason to fire him, especially considering the number of absences the team had, including Mbappe. Now listen to this. Real Madrid's tactical setup yesterday produced 7 big scoring chances. Barcelona had only 4 throughout the entire match. 4 of Madrid's 7 chances were created with just 24% possession in the first half. Barcelona enjoyed possession for most of the game, but it was largely sterile. Madrid had more shots on target, 10 versus 7, more successful dribbles, 13 versus 9, and won more duels, 54 versus 43. Both of Rafinha's goals came from chances worth 5% and 4% expected goals, which is actually lower than Vinícius' shot, 6%. Gonzalo's chance in the 33rd minute, 14%. Carrera's shot in the 96th minute, 22%. And Asensio's in the 97th, 11%. Rafinha's quality, and a bit of luck on the third goal, is what ultimately decided the match in Barcelona's favor. I can only assume the club has these numbers, and many more, when deciding that this was the moment to let Alonso go. But there are other reasons, and I'll share those with you in just a few minutes. If we compare Alonso's numbers with his counterpart, Hansi Flick, they're actually exactly the same. However, the feeling of control, game management, and overall confidence paints a very different picture for Alonso. Xabi Alonso's 34 matches as Real Madrid coach, 24 wins, 4 draws, Al Hilal, Rayo, Elche, Girona, 6 losses, PSG, Liverpool, Atletico, Celta, City, and Barca. Hansi Flick's first 34 matches at Barcelona, 24 wins, 4 draws, Celta, Betis, Getafe, Atalanta, 6 losses, Mónaco, Osasuna, Real Sociedad, Las Palmas, Leganés, Atletico. So, what do you guys think? So, according to the Spanish outlet Marca, the main reasons behind the breakup between Xabi Alonso, Real Madrid, and the locker room are the following. No trace of the promised rock and roll. The high-energy football Alonso talked about never showed up. The team often looked flat, with physical preparation raising serious doubts. No control in midfield. The long balls we saw in Jeddah, the inability to build from the back, reached a breaking point in the Super Cup. Against Atletico, Courtois took nearly 40 long goal kicks to bypass pressure and look for second balls with Gonzalo or Jude. Tensions with key players like Jude Bellingham, Fede Valverde, and Vinícius. Relationships were damaged. Vinícius wasn't the only critic inside the locker room, but unlike Valverde and Bellingham, he later showed signs of reconciliation with Alonso. And the high press, once a key identity, mysteriously disappeared after the 5-2 defeat at the Metropolitano. The first loss of a season that started to dangerously spiral from there. Now, more information has just leaked about the ingredients that led to Alonso's exit. He had only just arrived at the club, and several players had disagreements or friction with him, including Bellingham, Camavinga, Valverde, and Vinícius. Vinícius, however, was the only one with whom harmony later became visible. Laughs, conversations in training, and even a hug once or twice during matches. The poor relationship with Bellingham, Valverde, and Camavinga worsened during the Spanish Super Cup trip. Alonso was also very unhappy with the club's decision to bring Pintus back as the main figure in charge of physical preparation. This was reaffirmed to him during the Super Cup trip, and it represented a loss of authority and a partial dismantling of his trusted coaching staff. He knew this would just get worse and worse over time. Now I'll share my personal opinion with you guys. I still believe the coach is not the core problem, even though there are clear mistakes in his management. Not just tactically, but also in motivational and psychological leadership. The team has deeper issues that go beyond the coach. Physical management leading to a high number of injuries, the level of commitment from certain players, and without a doubt, the ego of many players inside the locker room. Despite everything, Alonso still has a strong reputation, and rumors are already circulating that he could become Liverpool's next head coach. Wherever Alonso continues his career, we wish him nothing but the best of luck. That's all for today, guys. Thanks for sticking with me until the end. Let's hope Arbeloa can bring out the best in this group of players, and that we can still compete for a title this season. I'll see you in the next one.